This week on One Devotion, a Euroleague rising talent explains how basketball won his heart over several other sports. A two-time champ will have you thinking ink as he takes us on a personal tattoo tour. A walk down memory lane recalls the Euroleague's best time scoring show ever. And a fever-pitched playoffs race delivers dramatic moments and its first qualifier. If tattoos have become commonplace on basketball courts all around the world, it's still something special to see a shooting, dunking human work of art, quite like Fenerbahce center Pero Antic. The two-time Euroleague champion got his first tattoo in an act of rebellion, the same year that he became a teenage rookie in the Euroleague, because his father said he couldn't have one. That experience has since turned into so many tattoos that Antic has lost count.
I did the first one 2001, and since then I don't know how many I put, seriously, because a lot of them are getting to be one, you know, like sleeve, my back. There are few. There are like 5, 6 on the back, on the chest, on the legs. You have the Red Star, Olympiacos, my father's initial, a lot of stuff, you know. Everything is connected to the family or myself.
Now 33 years old and the father of 2 boys, Antic's ink has become that of a family man.
I have my sons, on both hands I have the dates of my son, on my chest I have the dates of when I met my wife, when we married, you know, some days that mean something to me.
His tattoos also connect to his basketball career, and in particular to fans from his former Euroleague clubs, Crvena Zvezda Telekom Belgrade and Olympiacos Piraeus, with whom Antic won back-to-back continental trophies in 2012 and 2013.
Success, I played there for 2 years and I have a great time over there. And they have huge respect for me, and we have mutual respect for each other.
While it's true that his tattoo collection holds a lot of memories, Antic considers those reminders to be mostly personal.
I don't hide my tattoos, but I'm not going to people just to show them, you know. I just, like, my back tattoos, I forgot them that I have, you know. I don't know even how they look right now. Sometimes in the mirror I see. How are you gonna see them? You just put them.
And in Antic's case, you keep putting them, as even a tattoo tour that only covers his arms is more than enough to demonstrate.
This is the date when my son was born, Luka. Also on the same hand I have his name, Luka, he's fishing zodiac. My family, my shelter, that's my motto, and also I have my life, my rules, because we all create our own rules in life. If we provide for ourselves, if we depend on somebody, we have to follow somebody else's rules. This is the fan group of Red Star. This is the fan group of Olympiacos. This is the picture that I just saw, I liked it. You know, this is rare picture for me to copy from somewhere. Spider, you know, it's for happiness, for luck, and for money, we say. I just like to have one pin-up girl. And these words are from Nelson Mandela, all the time when he was in jail. After watching the movie Invictus, I immediately went the next day to, I'm the master of my fate, I'm the captain of my soul. All the white people, what we did, you know, what they did to him, and they put him in jail for so long and he forgave them. So I had to put that. Orthodox cross, my second son, Pavel birthday, that's him. Some roses because my wife's name is Rose. This is between heaven and hell. Something that when I was young I was saying I'm between. I'm not even down, I'm not even up. I would say between, like an angel is pulling a kid up, but the devil is pulling him down, but he's in the middle. 2 pigeons, 2 dice, 6 and 6, 12, 2. My jersey number, and 2 and 4 is 6. My jersey number in NBA in Olympiacos. My father's initials. Everybody asks, what is this? I say, my PIN code or my credit card. Are you serious? Why you did this? I say, if you're serious to ask me, It's a joke, you know. It's 3 + 3 + 4 + 2, 12, my number on my jersey, but also like letters, BB4L, like bad boy for life. This is a long time ago. You know, sometimes you go back in time and you say, why did I do that, you know? But everything has a story. These are two cartoons that I grew up with, my favorite cartoons, the bad boy Hugo and the robot Microbi. There's some cartoons crazy. It was a crazy day. We just had to put it something.
This week in Euroleague history, back in 2001, Carlton Myers of PAF Bologna tied the competition scoring record of 41 points in a quarter-final series clinching victory over Real Madrid. In doing so, Myers matched the late Alfonso Ford's total from earlier in that season's playoffs. That record has since been tied twice again since Myers did it, by Kaspers Kambala of FS Pilsen in 2002 and Bobby Brown of Montepaschi Siena in 2013, but it has never been beaten. And none of the four players who share the record had such good timing as Myers. There was no stopping him in that winner-take-all Game 3 of the playoffs against Madrid for a spot in that season's semi-finals. He took charge with 9 first-quarter points as Bologna took a double-digit lead. Then his 3-second quarter three-pointers paved the way to a 52-25 half-time advantage. Myers didn't slow down the whole night. He also collected 5 steals and drew 14 fouls, which created foul trouble for several Madrid players. And he continued filling the basket until his team had won the series, and he had a piece of the Euroleague scoring record. The effort marked another highlight in a brilliant career for Myers, a 2-time Italian League MVP, who won the gold medal with Italy at Eurobasket in 1999 and was the country's flag bearer at the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney. His share of the single-game scoring mark remains unique because Myers scored his 41 points later in the season and with more on the line than anyone else, exactly 15 years ago this week in Euroleague history. Top 16 round 10 produced some truly memorable finishes. Here's the best of the action. Fenerbahce overcame Lokomotiv, Unicaja triumphed in Zagreb, FS won a local derby, and Crvena Zvezda held off Panathinaikos. Group E's top 2 teams met in Krasnodar and Bogdan Bogdanovic gave the visitors an advantage before Victor Claver brought Lokomotiv back. After a battle dominated by strong defences, it all came down to the final seconds, when the hosts couldn't score the triple needed to force overtime, and Fenerbahce held on to become the first team to qualify for the playoffs. Unicaja Malaga travelled to Cedevita Zagreb with both teams looking to snap losing streaks. Unicaja went ahead behind Nemanja Nedovic and never relinquished the lead, with big men Jack Cooley and Fran Vazquez doing the job inside. An Istanbul derby between host Darüşşafaka Doğuş and Anadolu Efes had must-win written all over it for 2 teams tied in 5th place. Despite Scotty Wilbekin climbing off Darüşşafaka's bench for 17 points, Efes took the lead early and often and followed top scorer Thomas Hertel with 17 points and Jerry Osman with big baskets and steals to a close and crucial victory.
It was a tough game, and the last time was and the last quarter was really tough. The last minutes they played really good defense, but we won the game. This is the most important. The next game we will prepare well at home in Istanbul, and we will try to play the same game, and game per game we will win the game.
Playoff hopefuls Crvena Zvezda, Telekom Belgrade and Panathinaikos Athens squared off, and, led by James Gist, the Greens took early control. But Zvezda responded behind Terence Kinsey to open a double-digit lead. Panathinaikos fought back to make it a close finish, but Kinsey and Quincy Miller made key plays down the stretch to secure a narrow home win, completing Zvezda's top 16 sweep of Panathinaikos.
This one is the biggest in this season, I think, because we played 2 times against Panathinaikos, who was the favorite in this group comparing with us, and we showed that we can play against them. They are definitely a team who improved their shape and they are playing very well, but we showed today that we can play also very important games.
Fenerbahce moves 2 games clear of Lokomotiv, which is now just 1 game ahead of Crvena Zvezda and Panathinaikos. But Efes is still dreaming that a playoff place is possible. Laboral won the game of the week against Himki. Brozo Baskets edged out Olympiacos. Real Madrid prevailed in Kaunas and Barcelona stunned CSKA Moscow. In Group F, Laboral Kucha Victoria Gasteiz and Himki Moscow region delivered a highly entertaining showdown for the game of the week. Himki led at half-time behind an inspired Paul Davis, but Fabien Causeur scored 12 third-quarter points as Laboral simply took over, producing several spectacular plays. Weekly MVP Ioannis Bourousis registered another double-double, and his team secured its 7th win. In a must-win game, Olympiacos maintained short leads through its dynamic duo of Vasilis Panoulis and Georgios Printezis, but Bamberg refused to surrender and hit the big shots when it mattered. Finally, with Yanis Strelniks nailing a game-winning triple with 5 seconds left to claim a home win, which revives Brozo's playoff challenge.
There was not a lot to think about. We got the last offense and coach wrote the play for me, and my teammates believe in my shot, so I have to believe in too. So I took the shot and I scored, and thanks to teammates for believing.
Žalgiris Kaunas hosted reigning champs Real Madrid, and Paulius Yankunas led the home team's challenge with 21 points as Žalgiris held a half-time lead. But Madrid pulled away with a 2-13 charge to finish the 3rd quarter, and Andres Nocioni nailed 6 three-pointers to help the visitors ultimately cruise to a much-needed road victory. In a battle of giants, FC Barcelona Lhasa and CSKA Moscow offered one of the games of the season. CSKA ran its offense through its dynamic duo of Milos Teodosic and Nando De Color, but Barcelona stayed alive through Tomas Satoransky and forced overtime. It all came down to the final seconds of the extra period, when Justin Dolman hit a 3-pointer to tie with 4.6 seconds left, and then stole the inbound pass to nail a jumper and win it for Barcelona, breathing new life into their playoff challenge.
Heck of a feeling. There at the end, my teammates found me to hit that 3, tied the game, and was able to steal the ball and hit a game winner. Anything's possible. You got to believe till the end, and God gave me that one, and thank God for the ability to play. It's a big victory. It keeps us in the hunt. We'll see what happens. The atmosphere, these fans were great tonight. It was a lot of fun.
CSKA and Laboral are now tied at the top, with Madrid just 1 game behind. Barcelona and Himki are tied for 4th, but Brozo and Olympiacos remain very much in contention.
Serious hobby.
Hobby.
Have Bykov, I think, because he reads smart books.
Coach, yeah. The pigeons, of course.
Andrei Vonosevich, he plays games of wars. The computer game, I mean, usually athletes don't play that as much. It's more of like a nerdy type of game. But he gets on the road and he brings his big computer. He Skypes with his brother and he plays it all the time, and it's kind of annoying.
Simi, he loves cars. I know playing with him at FS, he loves cars.
I think he loved it more than me. So I think Simi, he's really into the horsepower on cars, old cars and stuff like that. So Simi, good car.
Maybe Bengai Fofana. He like to go to internet to watch all information and about everything. So I think that. I'm not sure.
Sergej Yul, he really enjoys going to football games and really follows Real Madrid. As a team, we kind of all do a lot, but he's the most faithful.
Young Kunas, you have stalkers because they like to hunting, fishing in their free days.
I don't want to say Alex again, but now I'm just thinking he really likes Lord of the Rings, and he's collecting a lot of stuff from it, and he really, I think, dedicated time and money to this.
Which one of the teammates laughs the weirdest? Wow.
Got him.
Unicaja Malaga guard Nemanja Nedovic was perhaps always destined to become a professional sportsman, thanks to his innate athletic ability. But because his father Predrag was a top-level professional handball player, basketball was by no means the first sport he was exposed to as a youngster. Naturally, his first major athletic experiences came on the handball court, and it was only his mother's concern for him that prevented Nedovic from following in his father's footsteps.
Well, the first sport I played was handball, of course, because, you know, as a kid I was going to a lot of games that my dad played, and I just had to try. And, you know, I was switching positions a lot. One game I had to be the goalkeeper, and my mom was watching in the stands, and the ball hit me in the head, so after that game, she said, no more handball for you. So I had to switch to tennis.
But even after handball and tennis, Nedovic didn't take a straight route to basketball. The family was living in Italy at the time due to his father's career, and he soon tried lots of different sports, including one in which he earned an invitation to compete at an extremely high level.
I tried tennis, I tried soccer, I tried swimming. The national team, swimming national team of Italy, offered me to swim for Italy when I was younger. But you know, at the end, when mom took me to basketball, I knew that basketball was the sport I love, and from that day, basketball was my life.
Indeed, it was almost immediately after he was invited to swim with the national team that Nedovic fell head over heels in love with basketball and never looked back.
Maybe a week after that, I tried basketball, and that's when I started playing basketball. Since my first practice of basketball, I knew that I would like to do that for a living, and you know, I didn't have any pressure from my parents or anybody else. They allowed me to choose whatever I want, and I think I made the right choice.
Although he dropped everything else for basketball once his choice was made, Nedovic believes that his early immersion in sports played a vital role in developing his competitive instincts.
Yeah, I mean, every sport in every sport you need to compete, and in every sport you have to have the desire to win. So, you know, that's, I think, common for all sports. And from when I was a little kid, I was used to winning. I was always crying when I lose something, and probably the competitive fire.
For another gifted athlete, it might have made sense to continue diversifying, but because of his experiences in several sports, Nedovic was in a good position to compare them. And once he set foot on a basketball court, his mind was made up forever.
I just like the flow of the game, the rhythm. Since my first practice, I was kind of familiar with the ball, familiar with the baskets, and it was just all natural to me. So, you know, it was love from day one, and I think it's the most beautiful sport ever.
The Ioannis Borousis revival continued Thursday as the Laboral Cucha Vitoria Gasteiz centre led his team to a resounding victory in the game of the week, collected his 10th double-double and recorded weekly MVP honours for the third time this season. Borousis starred in the 98-83 victory over Khimki Moscow region with 16 points, 13 rebounds and 6 assists for a performance index rating of 29, which was the most of any Turkish Airlines Euroleague player on a winning team for round 10 of the top 16. He made 5 of 8 two-pointers and 2 of 4 shots from downtown in 30 minutes of action. At age 32, Borousis, who helped Real Madrid win the Euroleague crown last season, is posting the best numbers of his career with 14.4 points, a league-high 9.5 rebounds and 2.1 assists per game. This marks the 6th time that Borousis has been the weekly MVP in his 14-season Euroleague career.
Number 5, Zagreb, Croatia. Demarcus Nelson driving to the rim for Unikaha, but what a block from Henry Walker for Cedevita Zagreb. Number 4, Belgrade, Serbia. It's James Gist time. Here's Nick Kalafis with the pass, and Gist with the alley-oop. Spectacular once more from James Gist. But what about the pass from Nick Kalafis? Absolutely perfect. Number 3, Bamberg, Germany. Final seconds of a must-win game. Brose trailing by 2. Yanis Strelnieks hits the game-winning triple, keeping Brose Basket's playoff dreams alive. It's Yanis Strelnieks. Number 2, Vitoria, Spain. Khimki Moscow with the ball. Petri Koponen trying to score, but what a block from Davis Bertans. And now the fast break. It's Mike James. Tries to score but misses, but there is Bertans from one end to the other. First he blocks the shot, and then he starts running. And he doesn't stop running until he gets to the other basket. To follow it up with a putback slam. Number 1, Barcelona, Spain. Last few seconds immediately after tying the game with a triple is Justin Dolman. Steals the inbound pass and scores. Still time. Nondo De Colo to win it for CSKA Moscow. He misses, and Dolman is engulfed by his teammates. Stealing the inbound pass from Milos Teodosic. And nerves of steel to hit the game winner. He just tied it at the end of overtime, and now he wins it at the end of overtime. Amazing play from Justin Dolman.
The playoffs race hits a fever pitch as Top 16 Round 11 takes flight with a game of the week between 2 of the greatest rivals in world sport and a showdown between recent adversaries who are among the Euroleague's hottest teams right now. In Group E, a traditional heavyweight hosts a fast-rising power. as Panathinaikos Athens and the spectacular James Gist welcome sharpshooting Ryan Brokov and a Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar team which is seeking a 4th victory this season over the Greens. Also in Group E, Fenerbahce host Darusshafaka in an Istanbul derby. FS welcomes Cedevita and Crvena Zvezda travels to face Unicaja. The Game of the Week presents the latest edition of the world-famous sporting rivalry between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid, with the hosts desperately needing a win and hoping that former Madrid big man Ante Tomic can overcome another dominant inside presence, Gustavo Ayllón. A big game at the top of the group sees CSKA Moscow and Never Say Die point man Aaron Jackson aiming to avenge an earlier top 16 defeat at the hands of ambitious Laboral Cucha Victoria Gasteiz and another dynamic floor general, Mike James. And Brosa Baskets will seek shooter Patrick Heckman's help in protecting its home floor against a visit from dangerous Khimki Moscow region and rebounding ace James Augustine in the Russian team's first Euroleague visit ever to Bamberg. And Group F concludes with a must-win home game for Olympiacos against Žalgiris. We'll be back next week with more Euroleague action.